Like and subscribe right now, or you're gonna have terrible luck for the next week. The animals you're going to see here are perhaps the world's most unusual wildlife out there in the wild. And although watching them on YouTube is not nearly as thrilling as seeing them in the flesh, we guarantee that you're going to be so captivated that you'll consider going in search of them on your next wildlife safari. Yeah, that got your attention, right? So here are 10 of the most strange-looking, weirdest animals we've rounded up for you to enjoy. Number 10. Bald uakari. This bald-headed primate native to the western Amazon is often described as a New World monkey. The arboreal creature is most easily recognized by its rather unusual appearance, its strikingly hairless head, which is how they got their name. Another distinction that sets the bald-headed uakari apart is its handsome crimson face. The prominent bright red color on its countenance is caused by a high concentration of capillaries beneath the thin epidermis of their face. What's interesting about these monkeys is that they are pretty quiet. Even though they mainly communicate acoustically, they often use facial expressions to communicate and express their emotions. And thanks to their hairless, wide and flat face, they can do this quite effectively. Being social animals, bald uakaris live in troops. Their troops can be as large as 100 monkeys, but more often consist of about 30 monkeys. And life can be quite interesting within a troop of uakaris, especially for the very playful young ones. Number 9. Pink fairy armadillo. The smallest species of armadillo, recognized by its bony armor shell, looks like a slice of salmon sushi. This critter, endemic to the deserts and scrubs of Argentina, is very rare to find, and is about as elusive as they come. With silky white hair and a pinkish carapace, not sure whether you'll find it to be a weird critter or simply a remarkable animal. And funny enough, these beautifully bizarre creatures are small enough to fit in a human hand, so we hope you won't confuse it for a sausage in the sand should you spot one. Number 8. Capybara. What do you think of these giant curvy rodents? The capybara aren't your mischievous kitchen cupboard dweller, and they're nothing like the pestilent lot raiding trash cans in the streets. No, these are admirably classy rodents, and you'll hardly find them misbehaving like their smaller cousins. One thing you'll find to be fascinating about the capybara is their size. They average 1.3 meters in length, standing at almost 64 centimeters tall at the withers, and weigh up to 70 kilograms. With such impressive metrics and weighing almost as much as the average human, these rodents are certainly not your everyday field mice. Capybaras spend their lives near bodies of water and the grassland. You'll find them running around and grazing on land, but they spend most of their time in the waters, swimming and even sleeping in the water. They're kinda like the hippos of the rodent world. They are perfect social beings and can easily mingle with other animals. You'll often spot monkeys, birds, and even rabbits seated or perched on them, something which adds to their unusual nature. But the most fascinating thing, or should I say weird fact about these large rodents, is their poop eating habit. Yeah, you heard that right. Number 7. Magnificent frigate bird. Beachgoers will delight in this black, pterodactyl-like black bird commonly found soaring along the coasts of the southern United States, Mexico, and the Caribbean. These are master aerialists, and you'll rarely see them landing on the water, even though their feet are webbed. They are always flying smoothly over the tropical waters, hardly ever flapping their narrow wings, but rather use their deeply forked tails to steer as they glide effortlessly. What makes these birds truly strange, though, is the big red inflatable throat pouch called a gular sac, which the males have on their chests. The males balloon up the red sac to try to attract mates. It's truly a sight to see if you're into birdwatching, and even if you're not, it's just the perfect excuse for a walk on the beach. Magnificent as they appear to be, frigate birds are quite dangerous bullies in the air. They are locally known as pirates of the sky or man-o'-war birds due to their weird habit of stealing food from other birds in mid-air. If you ever hear gulls and other seabirds raising a ruckus up in the sky, there must be a frigate bird around that's trying to harass them for their food. The pirate bird will keep teasing and harassing the seagulls until they eventually regurgitate their recently captured food, which the frigate bird then snatches in midair. Number 6. Dancing frogs. Perched on the wet rocks sitting on the banks of fast-flowing streams in the mountainous region along the west coast of peninsular India are the males of a spectacular species of frogs known for their bizarre courtship displays. When they want to grab the attention of females, the Indian dancing frog males lift and stretch their legs into the air to flash their white webbed toes at the females. Their singing and dancing courtship displays are interesting because it's a unique breeding behavior observed only in the males of 24 species of the Indian dancing frogs. It turns out that this bizarre foot-waving courtship dance routine is not only meant to impress the females, but also kick rival males out of the way. Another unusual trait in the family of the Indian dancing frogs is that their tadpoles live underground, unlike the tadpoles of other frog species which live in water. Essentially, the tadpoles of the dancing frogs are adapted to swimming underground, something which explains their burrowing lifestyle. Number 5. Matamata. This turtle really looks more like a pile of rotting leaf mold than it is a living creature. With a rather oddly shaped triangular head, this freshwater turtle, found across South America's slow-moving streams and pools, is truly a bizarre creature worthy of featuring on this list. Its triangular head is wide and flattened, with countless tubercles and flaps of skin, and it even has a horn-like protuberance on its long tubular snout. The protruding nose acts as a snorkel, and it uses its mouth as a low-pressure vacuum to suck fish inside when they approach. But the weird doesn't end with its peculiarly shaped head. The Matamata carries an elongated, thick, flat neck that's covered in warts, skin fringes, and ridges, which make it look more like a rough, giant sea slug, if you were to do away with its carapace. Speaking of which, the carapace of this strange turtle is its most prominent feature. It's a large, oblong, rough and knobby shell measuring about half a meter. Fully grown, the Matamata shell alone weighs as much as 16 kilos. Number 4. Black Sea Devil. Here's a weird-looking deep-sea critter with a somewhat startled expression. The black sea devil is a very rare species of anglerfish that has only ever been observed once in its deep, super dark habitat. Although anglerfish have been known to get caught in deep-sea trawlers' nets, it's unlikely that you will ever see a living specimen of the black sea devil. So, very little is known about this species of anglerfish. Being an anglerfish, its most distinctive feature has to be the small lamp dangling on some kind of pole protruding above the fish's mouth. This is the stuff that produces the bioluminescence used to lure prey right into the fish's mouth. And notice how the needle-sharp teeth sit like spears in the fish's mouth? Once caught in the rows of sharp teeth, prey have no chance whatsoever. Unlucky prey swims towards the glowing lure atop the black sea devil's head, thinking they've spotted dinner, when in fact it is they themselves which are on another predator's menu. Number 3. Handfish. These beautifully patterned but unusual looking fish are relatives to the deep-sea anglerfish. However, unlike other anglerfish, handfish don't have that characteristic luminous bulb dangling on their head. What they do sport is a mohawk-like fin and a rather unusual behavior. They give birth to fully formed juveniles directly onto the seabed, whereas other fish lay eggs which hatch and develop into the mid-stage for their larvae. You'll also find the handfish to be unusual due to their ability to walk on the seafloor with their pectoral and pelvic fins. Not that they can't swim like other fish in the ocean, they simply prefer to walk. Sadly, these fish, native to Tasmania's warm coastal waters, reached their grim end when one of their species was threatened to extinction. With the extinction of the smooth handfish species, only 13 handfish species remain alive, and even they themselves are now very rare to find.
Now it's time for today's best pick.
Take a look at this picture sent in by a subscriber just like you. It shows the image of a furry giant with a massive head characteristic only of the long-extinct direwolf. But the wolf you see here is not a direwolf. Let's find out more. Number 2. Canadian Timberwolf. Also known as the Mackenzie Valley wolf or the Northwestern wolf, the Canadian Timberwolf stands as the largest wolf species in the world. While other wolf subspecies are larger than the household dog, they are lankier than the Canadian wolf. Their heavy build gives them that slightly stockier and more rounded form that definitely makes them leaders of the pack. Their sturdy limbs and large lungs make them well adapted for their high-altitude habitats of Canada, from the less settled parts of Labrador to British Columbia.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works.
Number 1. Horsefields Tarsier. What large goggling eyes the tarsier has. These huge bulging eyes make it look more like those ping-pong ball-eyed aliens portrayed in Toy Story. The enormous eyes make its head appear broader than it is long, giving it a strange oblong head, which completes that bizarre alien resemblance. Nevertheless, this odd-looking tiny primate did not land on Earth via spaceship. These earthlings are found only on the various islands of Southeast Asia, including Brunei, Indonesia, Borneo, and Malaysia. The tarsier is a unique creature in that they are the only completely carnivorous primates in the world. They eat mostly insects such as beetles, grasshoppers, butterflies, praying mantids, ants, and cicadas, but they also feed on small vertebrates including bats, snakes, and birds. You may have noticed that these primates appear to be intermediate in form between lemurs and monkeys. As nocturnal animals, their huge eyes and big ears help them see and hear in the dark. They are lemur-like in being nocturnal and having a well-developed sense of smell. You made it to the end of the video, but hey, we'd love to see you again. If you click the subscribe and bell buttons, it will always notify you when a fantastic video just like this one comes up. We have a lot more that you will enjoy. You can start by checking out the 2 already showing up on your screen right now. Keep it 100.